Loading on the 650 is so much better than a single stage press. I can't believe that I spent so many months loading on a single stage before I finally upgraded to progressive. Case feeder's great, but you know, it can get a bit tedious having to pick up a bullet here and placing it on the case. So there's, you know, a commercial product, the Mr. Bullet Feeder, and you know, it will, you know, use a die similar to this one, and it will drop the bullets down using kind of a collator system. But that's a little pricey. I think it's about $650 Canadian, which, you know, that's probably about half the price of my press as is, and I couldn't really justify that expense. But luckily, I have a 3D printer, and there are great people on the internet who post plans for making 3D printed bullet feeders. So this is the first time using it. As you can see here, I have an RCBS bullet feed die that I've cut the tube down. I've added a snap switch here so that when the bullets get to this level, it will stop the bullet feeder from feeding. So the bullet feeder is kind of behind here. You can't really see it. I'll show it to you later, but we got it coming down this spring, which is just, it's kind of it's a strong spring because it's meant for bending pipes. Then we go to a vinyl tubing here, and then finally dropping into the die. So I got my die ready. I just need to, actually that should be fine. Yeah, so let's get going. Okay, so we have a primer in station 2, case in station 1, so we should probably start timing right now. Well, that was my mistake there. I did not reactivate my powder drop. So I'm gonna, you know, take a cut right now, and I'll be back when this is fixed, and we'll start again. Okay, we're back now. I've now reactivated my powder drop, so we are actually charging the brass. So no squips for me. I fixed those last few rounds, and that's why you see them through here. Okay, so let's start again. Okay, so we missed the drop there. My thing is overloading here. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, it's working again. Okay, one drop comes off there. I think I need to lower my die, my powder die, just a bit. I had a wrench in here, but okay, well, let's keep going anyways and see how it goes. missed a drop there too. Let's just adjust this die just down a bit. See if that helps. We missed another one. Okay, let's try again. I think I need to adjust the tension on this die a bit. As you may have heard, there was, pull that dropped here. Fuck. I guess I should have mentioned that this is the first time that I've actually tested this setup. Had an upside down case there that was there. Just another bullet there. Again. Let's try raising the die, see what happens. We'll be back. Just had a press issue here. Missed priming. Okay, we're back. I fixed the press issue. I loaded one more round as when the video was off. Camera was off, I guess. And it's still not totally picking out the bullets. This is not an issue with my bullet feeder itself, but it's more with the die. This RCBS die just doesn't always seem to want to drop a bullet. Yeah, it's missing there too. Actually, probably what it is I don't have enough case bell here. So let's we'll adjust that here and see how that works. I'm just gonna go. Just gonna grab a wrench. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back now. We're gonna adjust this die down and see if that fixes our problem. Okay, I've just barely lowered the die. We'll see if that helps with our bullet feeding issue. My brass is all just range pickup brass, because I'm cheap. And as a result, the heights vary a bit. So when I was originally setting up, I might have been using a taller case, which had enough bell, but just enough. So when I get to those little bit shorter cases, they're not going to drop because I don't have enough bell to push the plastic cullet in the RCBS die to drop the bullet down. So that's what I think my issue is. But we'll continue on and see if this helps. Yeah, so there's the first one with the more expansion. That seems to have helped out. Case feeder seems to have not dropped the case there, so I'm just going to disable the auto primer events, continue on, and then go on. Here, so I'm just going to disable that alarm. So I don't have the snap switch adjusted here, so it seems to move a bit, and so it moves just enough that it wouldn't let the bullet drop by. One thing to note, I had to take apart the snap switch and cut the spring in half and lengthen it. Otherwise, the 9mm 147 grain bullets had a tough time going past it when they hit it. So it could just be the brand that I bought was too much. This is a mini snap switch, so maybe if it had an even longer arm, it would have worked. But we'll see. One there, and if I just look at it, yeah, it's a shorter case, so it didn't bell. First bullet upside down. So I probably just have to adjust the ramp to make sure that it's flipping the bullets. And again, if I didn't mention this before, this is the first time trying out the DIY bullet feeder. Well, we lucked out there for some reason. The cases aren't dropping. We must have some type of jam in here. I'll have to fix it off camera, but that was our last primer, so perfect timing. So there we go. We just need 147 grain. anyways, that's it for kind of showing the operation. I'm just gonna take you above, and we'll take a look at how it works. So here we are, looking above. So I'm just gonna disable that stop switch, so that we can see some bullets pass by here. So if you see they rotate and rearrange, and if they are, you know, how they don't move. So yeah, it works pretty good. I am running this with a 12 volt motor with a 5 volt power supply. I found out the 12 volt was just moving too quick, but on my reloading here, the tube was getting a little empty, so maybe I need to use a little higher voltage. So I might end up going back to a 12 volt power supply. So here I have a switch. It's a double pole switch, so right now it's in the forward position, but if I push it all the way over, it would reverse the polarity to the motor and go in reverse in case there was a jam for some reason. So kind of as I mentioned before, here's that spring. This is for bending copper pipe. It does have a lot of tension on it, but it seems that it can handle the bend just good. So here we go, we got the vinyl tubing that just takes that little bend to drop into the feeding, the main tube, I guess. Here's our switch over here, so as you can see, when bullets get up to this level here, it will stop the feeder from feeding any. And then at the bottom here we got the RCBS die. I put a little bit of masking tape there on the plastic tube just to hold it a bit more straight, because due to the tension. Yeah, so I am pretty happy with the whole setup. Just to step back up here, so as I mentioned, this design I found online, but as you can kind of see here, there's some scallops that I've added, and that's my own addition to the design, as well as adapting it for the different motor and for that adapter to hold the spring there. But yeah, that's it for now. Maybe once I get the thing totally dialed in, I'll do another video and we'll see how fast it is compared to placing by hand. Okay. Okay, before I finish this video off, I just wanted to mention that the DIY 3D printed bullet feeder was originally designed by, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Janny Vanderwalt, and he posted his YouTube video on February 22nd, and shortly thereafter he published his designs to Thingiverse. So that's the designs that I was using. I ended up making a few modifications to them, like I mentioned. Specifically the bullet feeder plate, I had to adjust it to be able to take the key from my 12 volt motor. I also added scallops on there so that instead of the bullets sliding across the top of the gear, they would then try to fall in, but it seems like I need to add a little bit deeper scallop so that when the bullets are kind of entering that scallop base down, that they actually can fall in, because right now they ride it around. But they don't fall into the tube, and they just kind of keep going, so it seems to be okay. I will eventually be posting my modifications to Thingiverse as a remix, but I will do that after I kind of work out the bugs. You know, if I make any more if I decide I'm going to make any changes to the plate or not. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. I will be making another video once I get this thing fully dialed in. I will first of all run it without the bullet feeder, then I'll run it again with the bullet feeder and time it to see how much of a time improvement it is. I don't know how much faster it is, but I can definitely feel that it is quicker. There's also a few more videos I might be posting of kind of DIY stuff for the press. I am building a skylight and LED light for it so that I can see into the case mouth a bit better. But those will be coming hopefully in the future. Anyways, talk to you next time.